welcome to the PeterPatchPodcast. I'm John. This is Trevor.
I am Trevor. That's John.
So this is pretty much just us talking about whatever. Whatever you guys want us to talk about. It's up to you. So what do you think, Trevor? What's the first topic?
I don't know, to see where it goes. Just random stuff going on. There's one thing we can talk about is that we saw what seemed to be a private jet go over us earlier today, and beside it four jets?
Yeah, 4 fighter-looking jets.
Yeah.
Pretty intense.
Yeah, they were pretty loud going over.
Yeah. So it was like, I don't know if it was the Prime Minister flying over, whatever it was, but it was kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe it's Russian bombers being escorted to the airspace.
Yeah, we need that apocalypse, don't we?
Yeah. So, speaking of messed up things going on, I don't know how many people saw, but this week in NASA there was a UFO on their live stream camera, and NASA seems to deny that it was actually there. So I don't know what it was, but it's kind of messed up. Like, are the aliens just watching us, or are we the aliens?
Yeah. I don't know. Obviously, there's going to be more cover up there than the JFK assassination.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just to let you guys know, though, we were having some technical difficulties right now. So if we do go off, it's because I think
It's Trevor's fault.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Yeah.
It's my internet.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll get it figured out though. So, the whole jets flying over and everything like that. It's quite the situation that's going on in like North Korea and everything too. Like, guy's crazy, that's for sure. Wants to fire nukes at every country that shares the ocean with.
Yeah, he just fired one off not too long ago, did he?
Yeah, like they're testing long-range ballistic missiles. They're testing engines. They're loading warheads. It's a pretty messed up situation over there.
Now, China has dropped everything that has to do with North Korea.
Somewhat, yeah. Like they've got the sanctions. Like any cargo ships or anything like that, they're supposed to put a hold on them. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're just trying to get attention or if they're just trying to flex their muscle. Or I think the regime's on the verge of collapse.
Oh yeah, there's gotta be a point to which their people realize that he's just insane.
Yeah, it's messed up.
And it's not like they can leave. If they go to the borders, they will be shot by the border patrol.
If I'm correct though, what they're doing now is they're defecting. So, from what I understand about it, is that they go to some river that they share with China. They take a boat, go across in the middle of the night. They go to China, lay low, and then they go back to South Korea.
Okay.
So there's actually, like the last couple of weeks, there's actually the highest ever military official from North Korea did it, and he made it over there. So the North is hoping that they can use him as like intel to see what's going on. But I don't know.
So that's their only form of international trade with China, is through that river.
Yeah, pretty much just taking refugees from North Korea. But it's a messed up situation.
So you'd think that since Russia used to be communist, that they would still have some sort of sympathy or with China, maybe North Korea.
I don't know though, because Russia's part of one of the leaders of the world at one point, and the whole Ukraine situation was kind of a kick in the nuts to them, and I don't think they realized like what was going to happen to them, and it's kind of they've got the opportunity now to kind of grow back up and show that they're a leader.
Yeah.
But they don't want to be. They don't want to show that they support a country that wants to nuke every country ever.
Okay, now back to the alien thing you saw about NASA.
Yeah.
Now you have to agree that if someone who is open-minded about extraterrestrials, that there is going to be more than just one species visiting us.
100%.
Okay, so you got to think. If you looked at the people who have claimed that they're being abducted or whatever, or at the certain documentaries that show that there are certain different species, what do you think they're sticking around for?
I think they want to make sure that we don't destroy ourselves.
Okay, that's obviously one point.
Yeah, like
Well, going back to the 1940s, the eyewitnesses has skyrocketed at that point because of testing of nuclear bombs.
yeah, like I think the alien's been watching us for a while. Like you can see like cave drawings, everything like that show that that people of Earth have been visited by beings in ships. And I think when we discovered the atomic bomb and the first test we did,
Yeah.
they kind of realized like these guys are going to destroy themselves if we let them do this. So I think to a certain degree, I don't think aliens are the government, but I definitely think they have some sort of influence on it.
Yeah, influence. Yeah.
And it's just weird to think about that. Hopefully we don't screw something up. And,
Well, there's always a higher chain of command.
yeah, always is. Yep. So I don't know. It's going to be messed up when it'll be interesting to see it. Like if something ever did happen to a huge scale nuclear wise, if there would be an intervention or if they would just let it happen. Like do they see us like are we going to be that stupid to do it to ourselves or what do you think?
Well, they've been around for so long that they've recently just, I think, took a huge look at our civilization and just, these guys they're fucking up some shit on their planet.
Yeah.
And you gotta think, like, if they're there, why don't they help us? Now I think there's some international diplomacy where you can't help a planet if they don't want it.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that?
I think there's the whole God theory. So the reason why back in
Okay, so if they come down, the whole God thing is out the window.
not necessarily that, but what I think it'll end up happening is that with the whole God thing is God doesn't intervene because we'll depend on him too much. But if he just leaves us alone, then we don't depend on him anymore. We don't follow him. I think that's kind of the thing that we have. Like if they intervene that much, they show up, and we know they have this technology. Like they could have the technology to cure cancer, intergalactic travel,
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Yeah.
anything like unlimited fuel from the sun, anything like
Yeah.
that. They're not going they don't want us to be so dependent on it. They want to see us develop and grow. Like we could be they could have.
Well, we can't develop and grow with the kind of governments that we have now and the type of governments we have now.
There's different things that are the government's blocking us for sure.
Like right now, we can get rid of all the fossil fuels, and there is this new technology where we can be using, instead of all this, fossil fuels, all this oil and gas.
Yeah.
We can stop using that right now.
Well,
but it's a $1 trillion company. Like they make tons of money off it.
You can even see now, like with Saudi Arabia pumping the oil into the market, it's just everything's gone downhill for the shares. Like price of oil has dropped, everything like that. But solar energy sector has started to soar a little bit too because it's getting cheaper to make those panels with that oil. So it could be very polluting to do it with the solar panels, but we've got the technology to make it so the planet is green. But we could be at the point right now where
you think we're at the point of no return?
it could be possible. I don't know. But like you see, like even like a winter like this winter, we had we had cold days, but we never like.
Well, we just had the recent coldest day of that year, like of that winter.
Yeah, so like I remember 4 or 5 years ago, we had like 4 or 5 days straight. It was like minus 25.
Yeah.
We had. Well, I don't even remember. Probably 5 or 6 years ago, fishing on like when we went ice fishing, there was 28 inches of ice. The next year,
talking about like this year, I went ice fishing with John. When was it? Back in January?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and there was maybe 10 inches.
Yeah, like throughout every year. So like 5-6 years ago we had 28 inches. The next year we had 20. Like we averaged probably about 20 for a couple of years. Like last year we had like, I think the maximum I ever drilled was 15 inches. And that was in like the middle of February. And then now this year it's like the most we ever saw was 12. And the lake's been open since the beginning of March. So there's definitely something going on with the planet. I've like just watching the lakes, you can see that there's warmer weather that shouldn't be here. Like we're getting more of the I don't know, El Nino.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I think it's the El Nino winter where we get the warm air from the States come up, and it's the jet stream never drops down. So I think that's there's definitely something going on where the airflow isn't moving as it should. Like the oceans are warmer, and there's too much warm air moving around. Like there's been studies like there's like millions and millions of starfish just dead on the bottom of the ocean, and they figured it's because the temperatures rose a degree than what it is over the average.
Yeah, all you need is a little bit of a change, and that can ruin the whole system.
Yeah,
which we've been seeing a lot of evidence recently. Just saw a video or some news not too long ago about I think it was just hundreds of millions of sardines belly up, and it filled the entire river.
Yeah, like there's really messed up things going on. Like they know like this year was like one of the warmest winters they ever had in the Arctic. And to think about that, like you probably think, oh, like their average is down or like up a degree, like that's not that bad.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, that's if it's a degree warmer over the average, that's the sooner the ice melts.
Exactly.
And then next year, if that average is there, there's not nearly going to be enough. Like not as much ice is going to form in the Arctic.
Yeah. So, well, Anthony Wright's saying here that the Fukushima deal here. I don't know the full story, but when the earthquake hit, as soon as that happened, it leaked. I don't even know how many barrels of radiation into the Pacific, and that's why all these sea life are being killed off. Have you looked into that at all?
Yeah. So what happened? They had the earthquake. The reactors have sensors in them pick up the earthquake.
Yep.
So they shut off the reactor right away because they don't want anything to happen. Mm-hmm. So at the Fukushima plant, they have a 9-meter seawall in front of the plant. The wave that came over, like the tsunami that hit that side of the coast, it was like a 12 or 14-meter wave. So the earthquake knocked the power out. So they have generators that come on. The water flowed over the wall into the basement of the reactors, killed the generators. So the cooling pumps couldn't pump water into the cooling tower. So what ended up happening is they started to melt down. So when they have a meltdown, what happens is the reactor gets too hot. The fuel itself starts to melt, and the fuel's so hot it melts through the reactor, and then through there's like a dome type thing that keeps the fuel inside. It melts through that and then melts through the reactor, and then that's where you get all your radiation. Oh, okay. It blows a hole in the side, and then you get it spewing out.
Yeah, because the way I saw of a diagram, it had the Fukushima and, of course, the rods that went down into the ground.
Yeah.
And where the rods met, there was some sort of underwater chasm, like cave.
Yeah, like they've got their intakes for the cooling.
Yeah, and that water went right into the Pacific.
Yeah, so what happened?
What happened, like I think the radiation leaked into that, and it went right into the Pacific, and that's what's killing off all this, all the marine life.
The reactors have, they've got a protective, 9-foot cement, whatever, concrete barrier underneath. So what it's designed to do, if it leaks through, it shouldn't, this is designed not to get out to the ocean.
Yeah.
what ended up happening is it leaked. Like it got so hot, it leaked through this container that's designed for this. Leaked through it, and it's leaked through like 9 feet of concrete, and it's now under the ground. They never thought in a million years that would ever happen. So what's happened now? You got all this groundwater and probably the intakes and everything for the water. You got this liquid nuclear fuel, plutonium, uranium, whatever it is, leaking into the ocean.
And what I've learned is that, if anybody living on the West, they're getting more radiation now than they ever have before.
Yeah.
Because, that's the way the current happens, is that it came from Japan and hit the West Coast.
Yeah.
And it happened within, I think, 1 million barrels a day is what Anthony is saying. Us too, yeah. But the entire West side is just getting demolished with radiation there.
Yeah, like it's definitely screwed. Like nuclear power is great, but at the same time, it's going to be what kills us, 100%.
It will. All you need is something more catastrophic to happen on land, and it's just not going to be the marine life. It's going to be us. Even
if you drive by like Darlington, down on the 401, you drive by there, you see they have the sirens there.
Yeah.
If that melts down, you get a strong westerly wind. Think of how many people will be affected by radiation from the wind blowing it into Toronto. How many people live in Toronto? 3 million? 4 million? More than that?
I think maybe a little bit more now.
Yeah, so you think about it. You get all that blowing in there. What is going to happen? Pandemonium's going to break out first.
Yeah.
There's ways that they can contain it.
How are there ways to contain it? You can't stop something that's invisible.
I'm sure we've got technologies now that not necessarily would help the radiation, that would keep the core more safe. Because the main thing is keeping why didn't Fukushima have something? They knew it's an earthquake area.
Yeah.
Earthquake tsunamis come together. Who's the genius that thought, let's put the diesel generators in the basement where the water gets in? Who's the ding dong that thought of that? Who thinks of this? Why would they not have some sort of backup generator that would be above sea level in a secure area where...
Well, I think it just came down to construction areas and what's more plausible area to build. Yeah. I think that's what it probably just came down to, and an unfortunate earthquake happened and it hit it. Of course, there's the conspiracy theories about what actually happened.
HARP.
Yeah, HARP, yeah. There's one. I also heard that HARP's been taken down, though.
Yeah, I did. From what I've heard, anyways, is that I did a research project in college about it.
Yeah, this guy took conspiracy class, by the way.
So, HARP was used. They don't know what for. One of the conspiracies was it controls the weather, it controls humans. It could have been used as like an EMP layer in the atmosphere to destroy any Russian missiles coming during the Cold War or anything like that.
So that was built back in the 50s?
I have no idea. I could look it up here and we'll find out. But I'm pretty sure I know that the last major broadcast it did was
3 years ago?
Yeah, 3 or 4 years ago. It was established in 1993, so the Soviet Union is still around, but not so much the Cold War.
Was the Soviet Union still around in 93? I thought they disbanded in 89 or 90.
No idea. But either way, there was still the threat. So there's a couple of different things I could understand. Weather control, 100%. Because even just studying basic radio, what happens? They crank that thing up to 15,000 watts, turn it on, blast it straight up into the atmosphere. The radio waves heat up the ions. That's what happens. So when there's a thunderstorm, the ions are very active. If you can start that and then get it to move somewhere, 100%, you can control the weather.
I think the big thing about that was controlling the weather.
Yeah.
Was that the main purpose of it being built?
No one really knows. The earthquakes, I've looked into the physics of it. It doesn't make sense how they control an earthquake because the earthquake is the shifting of the Earth's plates that rub together. That's what creates it. Or when you have a shift so big that you get a large one. Mind control, the human mind runs at a frequency but it's not like we have a receptor to pick up. Like, our ears pick up sound.
Yeah.
But it's not like it would broadcast at, like, that frequency where our ears would pick it up and then it's just like, oh. Like,
well, the frequency, because there's some cases where people feel sick around radio towers.
Yeah, 100%.
And recently, this is just coming out, that people are getting, I think, it's not cancer. I think it's just rashes. Or Fuck, what's going on? Are you watching too? Maybe you shouldn't be on.
All right, so we're back.
Yeah.
So what were we talking about here? Okay, I can't remember now. So anyways, yeah, with HARP. Oh yeah, the radio thing. Like, people saying that they're getting sick from Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is radio waves. We've been using FM radio for ages, in the early 1900s, and the only difference is that, like, the Wolf uses 101.5. That's 101.5 megahertz. When you get into higher ones, so like aircraft use like 130.1 megahertz. You get into like your higher higher VHF, like your common walkie-talkie runs at like 400 megahertz. Like, the new police radios run at like 800 megahertz, and then you get into the gigahertz. So your router runs at either usually 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz. So it's not like it's any different. The only difference is there's more data. It's not just voice traveling through the waves. It's more data.
Well, okay, so wouldn't that include more tighter information being sent at a greater speed?
Yeah, so like the waves a lot.
Because the lower the frequency, you're not going to notice it as much. But the higher you get, you're going to be more attuned. But I think it depends what human mind you're looking at.
Reflecting the sun brighter into the atmosphere. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference. Like,
no,
you shine a mirror at your face.
And you know what? Like, we're trying to make the Earth a better place, trying to find alternatives to fossil fuels, and then people start complaining about it. Oh, fuck! Like, here we go again. We're going to find something that's going to be revolutionizing, that's going to be helping the planet and helping our species, and then people are going to start complaining about, I fucking stubbed my toe last night because of this. And
well, my wife turned on the router and I stubbed my toe, so I took it out on the dog. So, I don't know. Like, it's not like the human mind has antennas. I could understand if the human mind, if we had antennas, like Kip off Futurama, if we had an antenna on the top of the head, or like Bender, I could understand 100% that we are disrupted by it. Because you put your phone in the microwave, it's not going to work when it comes out.
Nope.
And it doesn't make sense on how people are saying this affects them. Like, same with the wind turbine, so...
Okay, so Anthony is saying here Wi-Fi does affect brains.
And now we're silly. Yeah, like, I think
just at, like, certain levels.
Yeah.
Because, it's a fine line here, I think.
What's your opinion on it?
I think I'm on the fence about it, really. I just think... I think it's how you're born into this world and what kind of human being... What you're sensitive to. Yeah. Like, every human is different, and that's the bottom line, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird to think about that. The way I see it is that we've had radio communication for ages, and we've never had issues with it. But all of a sudden, because the internet can pass through an antenna, people are freaking out about it. Mm-hmm. But like, even think about cell phones. Like, we had cell phones since what, the 80s, early 90s, somewhere around that area.
Even in the late 70s, I think. It's just prototype something, but mass production 80s, yeah.
It did the same. Your cell phone runs in the same frequencies.
Yeah.
And it never seemed to bother anybody about it. So
there's also the placebo effect where you think that something's harming you. I mean, then you feel sick about it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Okay, so let's try something else. What else we got? Yeah, like, I'm trying to think of another example. of the placebo effect. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, the same way HARP works, it's how far they turn up the dial and how much water you have. I'm not sure if that's a typo. Or...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's... I've seen a lot on it, like the Jesse Ventura guy.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura. He's tried a lot of stuff.
He's in Mexico now, eh?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had to get out of the States. I think he was threatened quite a few times. So now he's in Mexico, living on. I think he's on a beach or something like that. He has. I don't think he has any electricity. Oh, he's just all by himself there, with away from whoever's trying to kill him.
I wonder if our government kind of figured him out and just kind of gave him a heads up.
No, that wouldn't be the States. Yeah, he was threatened. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, yeah, for sure. If you go around saying stuff that's listen, you're not threatened unless it's true.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, if you're spreading rumors about Rebecca in high school in grade 10 and you have her boyfriend come up,
yeah.
Well, you know, it's probably true. But, you know, if you don't have anything come up to you,
yeah.
No, yeah, once you're threatened, it's way out in the open.
Yeah, there's other like the whole global warming thing too. There's just, I don't know, the scientists that think that it's rumors. I don't know. I think I'd like to see their theory on it. Like, I understand we go through waves throughout history.
Yeah. Well, we're showing a wave now that we're getting into that is supposed to. Are we supposed to be going back into another ice age, or?
I think because the ice age, you have to have your great heat, the event. So usually, if there's an ice age, there's a meteor that strikes the planet.
Yeah, covers the Earth, and then it gets cold.
It's dust, yeah. So I don't know if we're on the edge of a cataclysmic event like that, or like the theory of the virus in the Earth. So when your body gets sick, your temperature goes up to kill the virus.
Yep.
If you think about it, the Earth is the body, we're the virus.
Mm-hmm.
So there's either two ways this could go. We can stop it ourselves, or the Earth can kill us off.
Yeah, that's another thing that's happening right now. Is just that you gotta believe that the Earth is one living organism, one living cell.
Yeah.
And that we've been fucking up the planet ever since the Industrial Revolution, and it's took notice to what's happening to it, and it's been increasing its temperatures ever since. And I believe some point in time things are going to get pretty bad. I'm not sure in our lifetime.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we're definitely in a spot here now where we got to make decisions on the environment if we're going to try to make it better or if we're going to try and ride it out. Like, we got to decide. Like, there's countries that are making the effort to turn it around, and it's not happening. Like, you get countries like the States. The States has the ability right now to start really turning over into like a green side. So does Canada. Canada has so much space. We could have the solar. We have the solar capability to support us, I think, but it's so expensive.
Just 30 million people.
Yeah, like it's so expensive though. People don't like. There's villages in remote countries around the world where rich billionaires have installed the solar panels for them, and now that little village has power and water and runs off of itself. But I think it's so expensive that companies don't want to do it, governments don't want to do it, and those are the only people, like they're the only entities.
Well, it goes right back around to the oil companies.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, tell about a little bit about the conspiracy classes that you took in high school. That we're on the same topic, so might as well.
Yeah, so like, what they had us do is actually Michael Cameron there. He was in the class. So what they had us do was they picked a topic. I was actually in Mike's group there, and we did the Men in Black.
Okay.
So what we had to do, we had to decipher what was actually going on with these things. Was it real? Was it fake? Like, is it the government? Who is doing it? So we ended up we had a pretty complicated theory about it, and I think we kind of blew the class's mind what was going on.
I don't think you ever told me about this.
Okay, so yeah, we had a theory about all the different the levels of consciousness.
Yeah.
And that's what we kind of used. So we talked about throughout history how these guys were showing up. One guy, apparently the very first documentation of the Men in Black. This guy had a book he wrote about aliens and UFOs and everything like that, and it was very accurate. So one night, his family went out into town to get groceries, whatever it was, I can't remember. He was sitting at home alone, and a car pulled up into his laneway. So when he went to go look, he didn't hear anybody get out of the car. He just heard the knock on the door. So these men come in, sit him down, tell him he has to get rid of it. If he doesn't, he's going to die. And so what he ends up doing is he ends up destroying the book. And these guys, they have whatever they've done to him. They've made him feel sick, threatened. They've made him feel
physically sick.
Not he's had the image in his head of he's felt what it would feel like if his family got injured because of him.
Oh, okay.
So they passed that through. He destroyed the book. They left, and then
I've seen television shows that they say where the Men in Black are actually aliens, just covered up with the sunglasses and the typical fedora kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the black suit. They're the aliens, and that's why they're so speedy. Sometimes it's to get to certain areas where something has happened that they cover it up pretty quickly. I saw an episode of that somewhere once, and I can't remember.
Yeah, it was a really messed up. Once you got really into it. So one of the things that it talked about was in one of the Apollo missions, they went to the dark side of the moon, and there was supposed to be Apollo 17, 18, 19, or 18, 19, 20 or something like that.
Which don't exist.
Yeah, so what they ended up doing is they had Apollo 20 to investigate what they saw on one of the previous Apollo missions, and they went to investigate a ship, and what they saw was the ship. They found a body inside, they landed on the moon, went to investigate it, and they had a body. They brought a body back from the moon.
Extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was only a craft there, no structures, no nothing.
No, there was a craft that had crashed there.
And what year was this? Probably in the 70s or so?
Yeah, probably the early 70s when they did it.
So 69 was the first one.
Yeah.
So probably around 74 or 75.
Probably 74, 75, I can't remember. And so they brought this body back, but it was they said it wasn't dead, but it wasn't living. It was in a neutral phase. So the whole fading in and out of the different levels of consciousness. What if this body wasn't a different level of consciousness, but you have to have a host to go into the different levels of consciousness?
Yes,
the host? Yeah, we're in the third. A second level of consciousness would be a dog. They only think instinct. That's it. And
so that's below us.
Yeah. So you can't get a dog to talk. A dog, they're just.
I bet if you try real hard, you can.
Not necessarily a dog. We won't do a domesticated animal. We'll do a wolf. A wolf is instinct. That is it. It is very.
Okay,
you can get wolf dog breeds, and you can domesticate them.
Yeah.
And you can have wolves, but if something happens, a wolf runs by instinct. That is it.
Yeah.
So the first level is germs, amoeba, stuff like that. So things that they're alive, but they're not really functionable. The fourth level, I can't really remember. The fourth level was beings that are able to telepathically control us, or not control us, communicate with us.
That's above us, one step.
So the theory was that the Men in Black, I believe, were the fourth level of consciousness. So they had the ability to communicate with us telepathically, but disappear if they had to. They could just they could be gone.
Which is why anyone hardly ever sees them.
Yeah. I can't remember how many levels of consciousness there were, but one of the theories that I read about was the ninth level of consciousness was God himself.
Yeah.
Because no one has ever seen God. And if you're, like, the different levels of consciousness...
So when we die, we skip, like, what, 8 stages?
Yeah, so, like, the different levels of consciousness, you can go down on level of consciousness. So a 5th level of consciousness can come into the 3rd. But we cannot go from 3rd to 5th. So the theory is that God was number 1, and that, like, we can't get to it, but he can communicate with us. So throughout, like history, like with the Bible and everything, like Moses saw the burning bush, because you could never see God. So everyone in history that says that they've seen God never described a being. It was always a bush on fire, like something like a voice in their head, something like that always just told them.
I'm not religious, so I have no idea what this
So it was like
text is.
So it was very weird things. I've read somewhere else that, like, a ghost is like a 5th dimensional being, something like that.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
It's a fine line, I think.
Yeah. I don't know, the whole Men in Black thing. It's a very interesting topic.
Well, you had other topics in that class too.
Yeah, like we had what we had? We had, like, JFK, like the JFK assassination. Yeah. What else did we have? Jeez, it's been a while. JFK, like Planet X, stuff like that.
Planet X. So Planet X, I think Anthony Wright knows a lot about that one. Go ahead and fill us in here.
From what I understand,
from what you get,
Planet X is a planet that is flying through the solar system that will at one point destroy us. That's pretty much all that I know about it.
Yeah, it's a cycle every 3,000 years.
Yeah, I can't remember anything about it, so...
I've been filled in a little bit about it. It's hard to take in so much. So, I think it comes by every 3,000 years, I think. Of course, it's blocked out by our sun, so we can't see it.
It's blocked out by the sun.
Yeah, like it's always behind our sun.
So it's just on, like, an exactly equal rotational pattern.
Yeah, so, like, citizens have never known anything about it.
Yeah.
But there are these videos where you can see, when you put up a camera to the sun, you can see a little dot next to it.
Yeah.
Like a faint circle, which is supposed to be that planet.
Okay. Yeah, I've never...
Again, I don't know if I don't know if I'm right here or not. I'm just trying to remember what I've heard.
I'm gonna crack the door there a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, that is an awful noise right there.
Yeah. Yeah, we just got the cat stuck in the door here.
Yeah. Speaking of cats.
No, he's good.
Speaking of cats, these cats here, probably some of the most... Oh, one of them is, I don't know, temperamental. Wants to be a cat, doesn't really know what it wants to be. The other one is Lucifer. It's its actual name.
Yeah, his name, yeah.
Scoop him up there, let's see.
This bastard right here.
That's the devil right there. Cat, honestly, is just the most wild thing in the planet. Like, my parents said they had barn cats when they were younger. And I don't remember their name, but they said they brought them home, like, tear-assed around the house, like, up and down the curtains, just, like, through the house all the time.
So everything's just shredded.
Yeah. And I don't ever remember what ended up happening with the cats, or if they ended up keeping them or not. But it's like, you'd almost wonder if he was a barn cat at one point, like, because he's that wild.
Yeah, this guy's a little shit. He'll scratch you at night when you're sleeping.
Yeah. You're gonna wake up one night, he's gonna have, like, his nail up to your throat.
Yeah, I have a big scratch, like, right here, right down my side. I swear to God, it's from him.
Yeah, I don't know,
I'm afraid one day I'm just gonna wake up with his claw next to my neck.
Yeah, it's gonna claw up to your neck, it's gonna, like, tell you want some money or something like that.
Where's my catnip, bitch?
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely insane though. That's like with any animal though. It's just like, I don't know, for whatever reason, I don't know why kittens are just always so nuts.
Kids?
Kittens.
Well, kids too.
Kids too. Yeah. I don't know. Kids are insane. You see, like the kids nowadays, like I remember growing up, like if you're in grade 1 or grade 2, you mouthed off to the teacher. Like I had a grade 2 teacher. You mouthed off to her like she didn't take any shit. Like now, like you do that. Like
that's why I'm so fucked up today, John. Is because teachers yelled at me and ridiculed me in front of the entire class. Listen, when teachers would ask you what's the answer, and I didn't have my hand up. Listen, bitch, I didn't have my hand up for a reason because I don't know the fucking answer. I didn't have my hand down to go, me, I don't know the answer.
Yeah. Oh, look at me, I don't have hands. Pick me, pick my shoulder. Look at me. Yeah, no, like you see kids today and they're like, a lot of them are just mouthpieces, like no respect at all, and it's just it's brutal.
Just like me.
Yeah, Trevor was the hipster mouthpiece child.
Yeah, well, I'm the firstborn, so I know one to look up to, and I mean, my dad hit me a bunch of times, and he still does. That's why I moved out.
Catherine hit you now?
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
But yeah, like
it really hurts when she has that ring on her finger too, because it leaves a nice little welt.
Yeah. Yeah, like you see kids now, like they're like, even like going through high school, you had like the odd kid that smoked pot.
Sure. Well, no, odd kid. You had a group of them, John. Actually, you had a group of them. I went out to the smoking section, and they came in, and it was just.
But we had like
smoke to the face.
Probably 3 or 4.
I didn't smoke back then either, so.
We had 3 or 4 kids. That's what they were known for. Just that. So, grade 9, there was 1 or 2 kids, and as you got into grade 12, there's a bunch of them. And now, like you see that, like that was in high school, so we were like 16, 17, and these kids, like that's when kids started. Look at them now. Kids are like 7, like.
But when they're starting?
Yeah. Like kids are born doing bong hits now. It's messed up.
They come out of the womb just.
Yeah. That looked messed up, but. But yeah, like it's just messed up to think about. Like these kids, like you got like 10-year-olds smoking cigarettes and smoking weed now, and you look at that and you're just like, what was I doing when I was 10-year-old? Oh yeah, I was riding down my street on my bike, not friggin' rolling a doob on the front porch.
You know, it took me until I was like 7 years old to learn how to ride my bike with no training wheels.
Oh, jeez. I was like probably grade 3 or 4. Like what ended up happening is when I was younger, rode my bike, had the training wheels on it, glitch in the matrix, I fell off the bike tipped over with the training wheels on it. I said like, no way, I'm never doing this again. I hate this. Like, throw it in the scrapyard. So like I didn't ride a bike for like 5 years after. Like just like hated the idea of it. And then just one day, I'm just like, I was over at a buddy's house, and I'm just like, I'm going to try this out. Tried it, and just rode around the backyard.
No problem?
No problem at all. So it's just like, where?
Yeah, my dad pretty much took him off and went, here, Trevor, go.
Yeah.
And just threw me down the sidewalk, speed wobble, and I just...
Down the hill in Marmora.
Yeah. Oh, that was terrifying. No, that was back on Bruce Street there.
But yeah, like, it's just messed up to think about. Like, kids are, like, they're like, to a certain degree. So, like, kids are innocent to a certain age. And then, like...
Until proven guilty.
Yeah, school just, like, pollutes them now. Just, like, destroys them, turns them into, like, a monster.
Oh, yeah, sure. Depends who they meet, I guess. I mean, I was never like that because I was a loner. But
yeah, like, it's weird to think about. Like, you get the kids that, like... Even I see kids that I went to high school now, and it's just, like, you look at them and you're just like, what? Like, what has... what, like... Kids that were, like, good kids, like, all through, like, elementary school and high school. And you see them now, and you're just like, what happened in those years that has brought you to this point? And you think, you look back, and you just think about it. And
thanks.
Like, I see the decisions I made in life, and, like, I can see that they were good decisions. Like, I had the judgment to make a good decision. But these kids just like, oh, it won't affect me if I do this right now, and it won't affect me in 12 years.
Yeah.
And like, bam, there they are, side of the road, semi-dead. And it's just, it's happening to kids younger and younger now.
What's also funny is you see the kids that were kind of like badass through the years, and then you see them with a good job later on.
Actually, the thing I find hilarious, there's kids that I went to high school with that they're your typical kid you didn't like because he was just a dick to you all the time. Like you didn't like him at all, and you see him now, and he's doing like some garbage job, and you just like driving some like just like has like done nothing for himself after high school. Like high school was his prime, and he's just from there.
It's usually kids with the American Eagle and the Hollister shirts on.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
What shirt are you wearing?
Original, because I am.
Your OG. Yeah, it's weird to think about it. Like, maybe it's social media. Maybe it's like, I didn't get on Facebook till like 2007, 2008. And the reason I got on Facebook was like that ragdoll laser dodge, whatever it was.
I've never heard of that.
So you had to drag a doll through, like there's lasers going up and down, side to side, and you'd like dodge like everything. I think that's what brought me to Facebook most. Like I care less about like all the kids.
The social shit?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's, I don't know, you see these kids now and like rumors, like they're like fire. Like in elementary school, if there was a rumor, it got stopped like right away. Even in high school, you could usually figure out who started the rumor, and then you could get down to the bottom of it.
Just letting you know, guys, I was never that popular, so I have no recollection of this at all. But keep it going, John. You probably pretty popular in high school.
Well, actually, no, I wasn't really like.
Oh, you were kind of in like the backfield, kind of just watching.
Yeah, like I was just
kind of thing.
Yeah, I was just kind of the guy that just like kind of watched all the gossip go on and watched the world destroy itself. Like I had a close group of friends. It was just us, pretty much since elementary school. Like it was always the same group of guys, and like you could always just see the drama unfold, and like all you had all like the preppy kids, and that's all there was. It was just always drama with them, and it's just like. Yeah, it'd be great to be cool like that, be one of the cool kids. But now that I look back on it, it's just like, no. I enjoy my 3 friends that I have, and
you know what's funny? If you compare like elementary school to like the adult world, like at a workplace,
yeah,
it's so very similar.
Oh,
even high school.
Yeah,
because your mom or dad can come home and at the end of the day, and you're home from school or whatever, and Bob at the office, such a whatever, blah, blah, blah. And, it's just the same shit that happens at
like
grade school.
Like, working at Walmart, went from working in the garage with a bunch of old guys, and, like, it was still the same thing. Just drama. Like, drama all the time. And then, moving it to different departments, it's the same way in the store, too. Just drama. Yeah. That's all it is. Like, I think the only way that there's no drama is when you're in the bathroom pinching a loaf by yourself. Like, that's the only area in there where
unless how big the splash is, that's a lot of drama.
Yeah. Play the Titanic sinking theme song and but yeah, it's just so messed up. Fluoride in the water.
Well, not just that, like in your daily oral hygiene. Like for toothpaste. Like you see in the commercials, they get like an ice cream cone, and they just the whole thing on top. Yeah. But only in reality, you're supposed to put like this much on top.
The thing about dentist stuff. Okay, so like you get this company's producing this toothpaste, all right?
Sure.
9 out of 10 dentists recommend this product. It will make your teeth great.
Yeah.
How do dentists make their money? By fixing your goddamn teeth.
Exactly.
So why don't we just brush our teeth with some sand and like. That's what I think is going on, is that the dentists are recommending these toothpaste because they could be the most...
That's why they recommend you to take out that bad tooth you have in your face, so they can pay off their fucking yacht.
Yeah, like it's insane that 9 out of 10 dentists like recommend this product. That's like, I don't even know... I'm trying to think of like an example here. That's like 9 out of 10 car salesmen recommending this car. Because it's good for your health, it doesn't make sense. Because the only reason why they recommend that car is so they can make their commission. Yeah, and that's it. Like they just don't care.
Or there's something wrong with it, so you have to keep on coming back to get it fixed.
Like there's like cost benefit analysis. Like the Ford Pinto, that was a prime example where the gas tank was. You got rear-ended hard.
Yeah,
the thing was going to start puking out fuel, and You're going to die. You're screwed.
Yeah.
Like, just you turn into a fire. And, yeah, like, Ford did the math to figure out, oh, it's going to be cheaper for all these accidents to happen for us instead of us to replace this car. And I think they ended up getting a lawsuit about it. But it's screwed up how it works. Where the dental industry, anyway, I think is rip off.
It is a huge rip off. Yes, it is.
Like the veterinary industry. It's like you're getting the same, like your animals are taking the same drugs you are, but they're going to charge you 10% more because it's your dog. Because you don't want your dog to die, they're going to charge you more.
Well, I went in for my wisdom teeth checkup. Probably 3 years ago. And he looked at them and said, "Here, look at, this is the way they are. This is the way they're coming in. We should get an appointment as soon as possible to get them taken out." And what I said was, "They're not hurting."
Yeah.
And they're totally fine. Like I don't need them out.
Yeah.
I don't need them out until they start hurting.
One prime example was with my brother. He had a tooth. Like, the fuck was that? Cat just going to vibrate or something? Or?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't think he's. Oh, he is too. Oh, there you go.
Both of them right there. Okay, so yeah, like my brother went to the dentist when I was younger. I remember this, and the dentist is like, "Oh, I see this tooth here. It's messed up. I'm going to pull it out, and like that'll be the other tooth's going to grow in fine, and it'll be happy dandy. Like go live the rest of your life." Dentist pulled that tooth out. I'm almost positive the tooth has never came back in.
No?
The tooth never came down. So dentist got paid to take that tooth out, and
You still have misery.
yeah,
Like you still had the pain.
he had to go through with getting the tooth removed, and I'm almost positive that tooth never came back in. I could double check with him, but I'm pretty sure it never came back in.
And who was this for?
My brother.
Your brother.
Yeah, and it was just, it's crazy how slow motion we are. It's messed up that they can control they control us that way.
Yeah.
Like even with family doctors. Like my family doctor, like you call him 7 times in a day, no one ever picks up. And then you get in there, so like the OHIP, whatever it is, pays for your doctor's appointment, and there's not much they ever do. Like you're just there. Like is the family doctor just a money grab from the government, or like what is it? Like I don't understand. Like my doctor's a great doctor. Like I've never had a health issue with him that he hasn't been able to fix before diagnosed. And he's a great doctor, but it's almost like, is the whole doctor industry that way? Just a buffer?
Like dentist, doctor? Like
yeah.
Okay,
like
so you gotta think about like the actual like a hospital. Are they the same way too?
Yeah, like the hospital gets paid based on your treatment. So they treat you. So let's say you break your arm. You go in there, they're gonna charge you for the checkup. Let's say you're in the States, right?
Yeah.
Break your arm, you don't have any insurance, you go to the hospital. They charge you for your checkup, and then they charge you for your x-ray. They charge you for the cast in your sling, and then sometimes there's like a discharge charge to get you out of the hospital. Or if you have to rent a room, like same here, like rooms aren't as expensive here if you have to stay in one, but same thing. Where here the issue is because it's like it's so much cheaper. People are going to the hospital first thing, like, I'm going to go to the hospital. I have lung cancer. I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And they go there, and it's like you have a common cold. Like, get out of here.
That's because you Google stuff about yourself. Don't Google your symptoms, and you won't have cancer.
If you Google stuff about your symptoms, you have cut your finger. You cannot catch leukemia from cutting your finger.
You can catch AIDS though.
You could if someone cut themselves with the blade, bled their own blood on the blade, and then you cut yourself with the blade.
Just saying, you could.
You could also catch AIDS from the toilet seat by having a cut on your ass and having someone have AIDS sit down there before you and cut their ass open.
Well, thanks, John. I'm never going to the bathroom again.
But yeah, it's a scam. There's scams going on somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
There always is. It's a business. They're there to make money. like the oil industry, like the medical industry, the automotive industry, like everything. It's just messed up.
All right, so it's getting pretty close to closing time here.
So if you guys liked it, make sure you like the video and everything.
Yeah, we'll try to do this again next week at some point in time. We'll be choosing probably a different location, maybe. We'll definitely have different topics.
Yeah, for sure. We might even try to we'd like to have guests on.
Yeah, we'd like to have more people in too, because you only have so many opinions and topics just between two people. That's why it's so hard doing a podcast with just two. So we'll try to get more than probably around 3 or 4 maybe.
Yeah. We'll figure it. We got to set up you got camera setups. We got to figure it and everything like that. But yeah, if you guys liked it, like the page on Facebook, Peter Patch Podcasts on Facebook, or Peter Patch Podcast on YouTube. Like the page, comment, and let us know what you think. If you guys have a topic you want us to talk about, leave a comment on the page. And
any topics at all.
Any topics at all, yeah. If it wants to be whatever, like AIDS, babies, whatever you want it to be, we will discuss.
Oh, nice, John. Nice.
Oh, yes, yeah. Same thing. It's good enough. But yeah, like if you guys have a topic you want us to talk about, let us know, and we'll talk about it. Alrighty. So you guys have a good night, and make sure you like and comment in the video, and make sure you check out the Facebook page and everything, and let us know what you think. Got anything else to say?
I gotta take a piss.
Alrighty. You guys have a good night.
That was fun.